Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, everybody, it's me, True Powers Mine, and this is TPIM Live. I was hoping to have Dr. Short on tonight, but we will postpone it until he's available. And I will bring you Ass Wars. It's going to be a powerful show, as always, with Dr. Short. I want to thank the Most High for allowing me to grace the show and host it yet again. Also, if you happen to pray, please pray for me. All right. Let's get into it, y'all. The struggle for justice, damn it. I have been on this show for the past 3 months going hard on reparations. I know everyone's like, oh, True Power, give it a rest. It's never going to happen. The people are unworthy. The people lack unity. Even if you give the people, they'll blow the money. But you know what? What did they tell the abolitionists? Oh, don't worry about it. Those slaves are too stupid to be free. Those slaves love to be enslaved. Looky here. Over here in the word it says they are cursed. They're meant to be enslaved. Weird. Welcome to the show. Brother Bird, peace and power. Welcome to the show. Sister Kathy, welcome to the show. Well, you know what? Like the abolition of old, I'm going to keep on beating this reparation thing, baby, until we get it. I'm not going to stop. I believe that the decent people, once they hear the message, the problem is they don't hear. They don't know. So let's do it.
O.J. Simpson was charged with murder. And in a court of law with a jury of his peers, he was set free. A lot of folk didn't like that, so they sued him. And he lost in court because even though he was not convicted of murder, they said he's responsible. White folk are rich and powerful, the rich and powerful, because black folk worked for 310 years as chattel slaves and got not one day's pay.
Did y'all hear what the minister just said? O.J. Simpson was exonerated in a court of law by a jury of his peers. But they came back and they said he was responsible for the murder of Nicole and Ron, and they made him pay. And you all gonna let this government play that game on you? You black folks should be ashamed. We should be ashamed of it. We're gonna let them play this game so they can take a brother like OJ and make him responsible. But for 310 years of chattel slavery, no one's held responsible. Come on, let's continue.
I could call out the rich and the powerful whose riches have been gotten on our backs. But
the Fords, the Rockefellers, the bankers, the corporations. Many of these took that ill-gained wealth and they used it to fund operations to brutally and savagely attack brothers and sisters in the so-called third world. They must have already jumped over the damn second world. Tate, welcome to the show. Peace and power. We're going to do it tonight, yeah. We're going to bring that information. We're going to bring that knowledge. We're going to bring what the people need to hear. Let's continue.
I'll save that for another time. The point is, the present generation of whites did not do this. But the present generation of whites are in their privileged position because of what a former generation of whites have done. Now the question is, a black agenda should be put before them, because if they don't accept the responsibility to—
Hold up. Here it comes, y'all. Here it comes. If you're not going to play by the game, you're not going to do what's right because you're decent and you understand what humanity is all about. If we are not set free of this economic oppression and allowed to become and blossom into the people that we should be, then this whole, not just country, but this whole damn planet is going to suffer. Let's continue. Our freedom is the whole world's liberation.
Clean up this problem. Yes. You don't have a lot of time to wait 40 more years for a benevolent white president or a benevolent black president. That day is over. America is facing the judgment of God as we sit around this table. Benevolent white president or benevolent black president, that day is over. America is facing the judgment of God as we sit around this table. Look at the weather. Look at the world turning down on her. America is bankrupt. $13 trillion in debt. And if you figure Medicare and Medicaid, she's over $60 trillion in debt. She can never pay it. That's why she voted for $650 billion in armament, because she can't pay the debt.
But she sure can slay some folks now, can't she? What the minister's saying is true, and I challenge anyone to say he's lying. I challenge anyone to point out where the minister has said an incorrect statement. Read your papers. Look out your doggone windows. Look at the decay in your own families. And you tell me God's judgment's not being poured out on this nation, then you a fool. And you deserve to burn with this wicked system. Now you can change. We all have the greatest power. And that is the power to change and better ourselves. Become decent, upright, righteous people. But before you can ascertain that, the debt must be paid. Reparations must be forthcoming. Because just as the minister said, there will be no great white hope for the black problem. Let's continue.
But she can bully those whom she is in debt to with fear over her military prowess. I'm here to tell you she's losing there too. Now I close. Our people need repair. Yes. We need repair from 310 years of chattel slavery, where black men were forced to be studs, to make black women pregnant, to make more slaves for the slave master. And that same unhealthy attitude of misusing our women and making babies that we have no desire to take care of is still with us. Willie Lynch, who gave the ways that we could keep being divided so that they could rule us for 1,000 years. That sickness is still with us.
That sickness is still with us even today, y'all. Even today, right now. Don't be shocked tomorrow when you hear about another brother that got shot tonight. Don't be upset when you hear and see about another sister who turned up missing and murdered. I guess don't be concerned about the homeless brother that died on Skid Row tonight. Because you're cozy like a snail in his or her shell. But you watch when the green light is given. Those troopers gonna smash your damn shell. They're gonna take your sorry, cowardly ass out. They're gonna stuff your little monkey ass on a train. And it's going to be bye-bye. Bye-bye. And it's all because you refuse, absolutely refuse to unite with each other and fight these motherfuckers in the so-called light. Let's continue.
Yes, we got a black president, but brother said it was confusion. He confused the issue. But really, he never wants to lose the white vote. So if he loses the white vote, he don't care that you voted for him. But if he loses the white vote, he feels he will lose. Dear brother, if you're watching, out of love, you won't lose the white vote of those whites that really understand this problem and know that this problem needs to be solved, and we can't keep relegating it to generation after generation because a few of us got a little money, a few of us got positions, a few of us have wealth, while the masses of our people are going steadily down.
Did y'all hear him? I wish more brothers and sisters would. A few of us got it good, while the rest of us got it bad. So what are we going to do? We're just going to kick back and let it all go. Hope and pray that the evilness and hatred that denied reparations for all this time will somehow not decide, I guess the final solution for these, Negras is extermination. I mean, what? Do you guys not see that? Do you not understand? They're just working on a way to do it efficiently. If a person's not going to give you economic viability, what do you think they're going to ultimately give you? Nobody deserves to be oppressed. Nobody deserves to be systematically made to be in a situation of economic viability. And if you claim to be a decent human being, whether the government classify you as Caucasian, African, Native, Aboriginal, Hispanic, Asian, you see, we live in a society where one can determine what gender they are. We live in a society where men can make love to men and have more rights than you, brother and sister, who are descendants of chattel slavery in these United States of America. Right now, as I speak, if you was to call a white, racist, homosexual the derogatory term for a homosexual, you can face a fine and potential jail time. But they can call you nigger for free. You can get mad if you want to. But because you lack power, it doesn't matter. Let's continue.
No one man can rise above the condition of his people. Amen. So, President Obama, this august body of brothers and sisters that really love you want you to use your bully pulpit, but then after you do that, then what about us? Mm-hmm. See, brother said responsibility. Is it that we should let them take responsibility to do for us, or should we pool the knowledge that's at the table, the power that's in our community, the wealth that's in our community to change the harsh reality of Black life in America? He can create an atmosphere, but we have to do the job of fulfilling the Black agenda. Thank you very much.
Now, y'all could maybe think that little video right there, y'all might think that shit just went down last week. Uh-oh, who we got here? Dr. Short. Hey, welcome, Dr. Short. I'm actually doing a live show right now. Perfect timing.
Yeah. No, I tell you, what's up? How long are you going to be doing your live show?
I don't know. We can go as long as you like.
I want to call Lance Skirv real fast, because I promised to call him after 11, and it's way after 11.
Hey, why don't you bring him on the show too? He's been on my show before. Can you three-way him and both y'all come on the show?
I can try. My phone, let me see how do you conference on this phone. Add to contact.
Well, my phone should be functional tomorrow. And because I've been wanting to get Lance back on the show anyways. So he's been on the show a couple of times. So this will be good.
He may not be able to talk. It's late. His wife is asleep. So we can't piss off his wife. Add a call. Hey, Patrick?
Yes.
I'm really disturbing. He may answer, he may not answer his phone. Out.
Let it ring forever. Hopefully, Dr. Short. Yep, there he is. All right.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, so I can't say I'm that wordy tonight, but the key thing is this. I wish it had asked for us. It would have been better to have a meme with Obama and John Lewis, RuPaul, and Buttigieg, and the Parchment Prison thing. I don't know how to do those things, but
I can do that. I can put something like that together.
And put some drag queens in called ass wars. You can even have gangsters. It doesn't have to be openly anti-LGBTQ, and then that will get by people. So you can have a bunch of thugs called ass wars. Have some gangsters with knives and guns and shit and called ass wars. Put Obama, Buttigieg, Hakeem Jeffries, and John Lewis on there.
Yes, I can definitely. I'll grab up Obama.
And that will get people's attention. And who else could we put on there? Oh, Nas, little Nas.
Oh,
and you could even put what's her name, Lezzo. Now you could put Lezzo in there. Get a picture of Lezzo's ass and have ass wars.
You know, did you get that? I sent you a link.
Yeah, I saw it, and that's why I'm commenting.
That is just disgusting. For the viewers, there's a Sesame Street embraces the black guy wearing the dress. They have it all up on their little Facebook site, and it's pretty disturbing. You know, because the guy in the dress, the black guy in the dress, is all kicking it with Elmo. Now we all know that this is all marketed towards the youth. You know, you don't see Mr. Rogers in a dress, but you see a brother in a dress.
Mm-hmm. And what's he doing?
He's sitting there playing with the puppets. You know, it's like, oh, he's all good. He's cool. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to come off as being politically incorrect. Okay, I don't want to be.
Could be. So what's he gonna now change his name to? They're gonna have a black puppet. It's gonna be Masturbate Me Elmo.
Masturbate Me Elmo. Oh my God! Tickle me 1, 2, 3. I mean, come on.
Masturbate me.
And I don't.
Or BJ me Elmo.
Oh my God! They're just distorting. They're penetrating every element of society with this nonsense. And once again, they're using the image of the black man to achieve this unholy agenda. It's not righteous. I'm sorry, but it's not righteous for a man to lay with a man. It's just not, yeah. There's no fruit. When two or more, God is in the mix. When a man and a woman quite literally comes together, God is right there. And that's where those beautiful baby is born and created. But how can the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit or the Most High, any of that work when it's being injected into an ass?
Well, you know, let's be more real, okay? Now, the agenda now is depopulation. And I don't know, we can look at it clinically or we can look at it, how can I say, emotionally, right?
Right.
We could, we can say, okay, how can I say this without looking?
Be politically correct, doctor. Politically.
There are a large number of black people who've lost their way. I don't know how you reach some of them because some are doomed because of life choices or how they were brought up. Okay, right? This is what we've got. Okay. Just saying that to you. Now, hear me. We may be better off without them. Okay. That I have a video that someone sent me of a black man stabbing another black man to death with the shank, just stabbing him because he's fighting over having sex with another man who's masquerading as a woman in prison. Okay. And I had that confirmed for me that in prisons all over America, you have gangs. I'm talking about Vice Lords, Disciples, Black Guerrilla Family, you name it, who get taken over by guerrilla sissies, very violent, powerful, sodomite men. And they take over and bring about mass perversion in the prison system, which is why they want black men there. Okay. This is what's happening. Just saying to you. Now, if I had to choose between the man who likes stabbing and murdering people and fighting over transsexuals and eating bowel movement and all this other kind of stuff, if I had to choose between some sexually transmitted disease that's quite fatal, eliminating such people versus them coming out in general population, when they come back into society, you molest your nieces and nephews and other people, so there's nowhere for you to be. How do you assimilate people who've lived this kind of monstrous debauchery for 10, 15 years of their lives? Okay, right. It's how our community, the good people in our community that would take someone in like that, they're a struggling family, they're not going to have a lot of resources to carry that. Right? Like, what do we do? And so the good black folks are going to have to reach the conclusion that some of our people are not only dead to us, but need to die to us. You don't want to be a God-fearing, righteous man or woman. You have to do the most deadly sexual practices that are violent and vile. And I'm supposed to be concerned about you? I don't think so. No, you didn't hear me say I did not care.
Right.
But if you put me up against the wall to decide, what would I rather save? A person that is upright, that needs a helping hand, or a devious, vile, degenerate, sexually perverse person that's determined to make everybody just them?
Just sick.
If you think I want one of those people alive, if they won't change their way, find God, religion, or something, you're crazy. So if all the predators in our community were dead tomorrow, I could have a Coke and a smile. In fact, it's a 64 ounce.
64 ounce.
Just try it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I get it. You know what? I like Little Richard. Little Richard got molested. It may have taken him a long time, but if you talk to Little Richard now, Little Richard will tell you that's not what people need to do. Maybe he did it for a long time, but at some point in his life, he stopped and recognized the error of his way.
Right. Right. Everyone has potential.
He may not be a perfect person, but he got hurt. I see that. I recognize that Little Richard was taken advantage of. He was hurt. I understand people being hurt and violated and all that, but the question is, if someone's hurt, justify them violating and destroying others? In the black community, yes, because we're grossly unethical, men and women. Something hurts me, I get to hurt everybody.
You mean like
I get to violate everyone because my booty or my vagina was torn. I get to be the nastiest, most vicious person to everyone to compensate for my pain. Bullshit.
I agree. That's correct.
Get your ass together. Stop perpetuating suffering in our community. Stop hurting. Stop violating. Stop continuing the pain. And in fact, instead of just asking people, a day will come soon. And a day will come soon. What if they emptied out all the jails and they just went all the way out there with the criminal justice reform? And all the freaks and predators were let loose back in the black community. And the police weren't going to come and get them unless they committed a serious violent crime. What are we going to do? for the folks who want to do for the folks who want to do whatever they want to do, who don't care. Right? And there's some like this. Okay, I had one. I have a cousin. He's no longer living. His name was Dwight Welcher. Dwight Welcher used drugs, was crazy,
Dr. Short,
and ended up going to the Maryland penitentiary system, a place called Jessup, Maryland. And in 1974, my cousin, I think, was on the front page of one of the sections of the Post, boasting about raping the newbies in the prison.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh, my God.
Now, I don't hate nobody, but Dwight died probably of AIDS or someone killed him in jail. I think it's AIDS. I didn't know Dwight, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. I heard nice stuff about Dwight because we have a way of romanticizing people when they are cousins or they are brothers. But how am I supposed to feel about them? The only person I've seen in the newspaper to get that kind of attention in my family is either me, my dad, my uncle, and maybe my distant cousin that sang for the New York Metropolitan. But a person that rapes people that thinks that it's cool. Would you want him around your children or your team? Would you? Could you?
No.
Are you feeling me? Do you really think I hate my own flesh and blood, or am I making common sense to you?
You're making very common sense. You're making sense on building community that's safe for women and children to walk around in.
And safe for men, too, because he's raping males. We have to also care about the safety of our brothers. Let's stop pretending that brothers don't get hurt or taken. And that's why we were going to talk about ass wars. I'm tired of black men pretending to be so strong. If we're so strong, why are we ruled by people who hate our guts?
Wow.
Why are we paying $50 for a gallon of sour milk? Why are our women buying bad food on sex credit from foreign merchants?
Wow.
Strong black man. I don't give a fuck if I hear about another strong black man. Sickens me to my guts. We're not strong because we're weak, divided, we're pussified, bitchified men. I meet a good black man wherever they call me from in the country, and they all have the same testimony. I can't find another two black men to stand with me no matter what the cause.
Can't find a witness. They can't.
And by the way, I've seen more black men cry like bitches over Kobe Bryant, who didn't give a damn about them.
Well, wasn't he Italian?
No, Kobe Bryant was a black man who had a privileged life until they blew his ass up. And they are going to hold him accountable for the white woman that he screwed. He didn't rape her. But if he had had some common sense, you're a star. But you know what? The girl that he screwed is a blonde. She's a blonde. I want to say something to you. For all the love that we're showing Kobe, there's someone that Kobe didn't listen to, that he hasn't been talking to, and we need to just mention that Kobe Bryant was estranged from his own mother, who didn't want him to marry the non-black woman that he married.
Wow.
I'm not knocking who he married, but I am saying, dude, when you don't talk to your own mother who helped bring you up and did a good job, you can be a cold cucumber or a cold fish when you want to be. And there are a lot of cold, successful black men and women, Oprah Winfrey and other types, who don't give two damns about black people. And they're the biggest problem we have because they're pointed to us as success. They're pointed to us as evidence that you can make it and things are getting better. And it's an awful deception.
Right.
But I was just saying, all these black men that won't stand up for wages or for jobs or against gentrification,
reparations,
spend all their time in a merry-go-round bullshit world of pro sports, just watching other people get rich, and somehow the same way broke-ass white people feel connected to Trump in the White House.
I'm going to Mar-a-Lago.
Silly-ass black men think that these dudes who have millions of dollars for nothing but racehorse slaves to rich billionaire white men, that they're somehow in the same club as them. It's so stupid. In fact, when they get tired of black men, and they are going to get tired, they'll replace it with soccer. Soccer will completely displace football and basketball, and you will not see black men who are the studs and the gladiator gridiron property of rich white men. That's why getting on your knees saying murdering black people is wrong is so offensive to people who basically own these guys outright as slaves. All of these black men in pro sport could unite together and demand some things. And by the way, if you got $10-12 million in the bank and your other buddies have money set aside, why won't they risk it? You know why they won't risk it?
Why?
They're bitches. They're bitches. They're coward bitches. Black men are coward bitches. If we were brave, Martin Luther King, they would have never dared shoot. If we were brave, Malcolm X wouldn't have been shot. If we were brave, George Zimmerman, they would have put him in jail. Our corporate lack of bravery and manhood is the reason why we get screwed.
Wow.
Our women don't respect us because we're weak. Men in other cultures, they don't beg for pussy. It comes to them because they're a man. I know brothers, and I ain't picking on present company, brother, but I know brothers who are married who feel lucky that they're having sex with their wife. Do you know what it reminds me of?
Patheticness.
Abused housewife women in the third world.
Oh.
The black man has been made into a woman even when he's heterosexual, and he doesn't even want to be honest about it. And he's even made the ultimate heterosexual man a prisoner when everybody knows we're having ass wars, AZZ wars, in prisons where black men are murdering each other over another man's rectum. Killing, stabbing, slashing, beheading. George Zimmerman is safer boasting about murdering Trayvon Martin and every other killer cop in the country than any man who may not want to be screwed the booty by a gorilla sissy in a federal or state penitentiary.
Damn.
And I know a lot of Negroes go to jail. That don't happen in jail. Nobody's having sex in jail. I've had people tell me this. People do not have sex. People don't get raped in jail. And there's not that much sex going on in jail. They stopped that in the 90s. Do you really believe in 20 years there hasn't been any sodomite activity? Do you know how laughable these fake, strong, punk, chump black men are to try to tell me that if you take a boy at 15 at his sexual crime and lock him up for 30 years, he's not going to want to hump on something? And if you've got a concrete or a steel mattress, that won't do.
Damn. And this is.
And we don't want to talk about that. I know, folks. I'm tired. It's time to break the silence. I sent you some pictures. I want you to post them of two dead men who died over a tranny in the Mississippi Department of Prisons, Parchman's Prison Farm. 9 people have died in the month of January 2020. It was all started over men fighting over a man masquerading as a woman. That's interesting. Black men will fight and die over an asshole, but won't fight and die over reparations or housing or jobs or food or justice. It's astounding to me.
You sent that to me on Facebook. I'm going to pull it up on my cell phone. You sent that to me on Facebook or the Gmail?
Oh, you need to put those up. You need to show how black folks will kill for a rectum, but they won't kill for freedom. Won't fight for freedom, won't defend for protection, but they'll fight and kill in jail. In fact, they have cooperation systems to get keys and access to things. You'd think if they were fighting for education like they were fighting for rectums, we'd be producing more PhDs in Harvard and Yale.
Hold on, I'm trying to find that for the people.
And I'm not even, I'll send it again to you. I'm not even trying to make people be straight. But my God, if you would die over a tranny, you wouldn't die for your Savior if you call him Christ. You won't even die for Muhammad if he's a holy man in Islam. I don't know anything that black men are willing to die for that's righteous. I don't know anything they're willing to harm anyone for that's righteous. But I now know, and I have it on account from gangsters in 2 states, that brothers kill brothers over trans and trannies and freaks. They'll fight and kill. They'll keep a secret and not snitch to the FBI like they snitched out Dr. King, Malcolm X, and every other leader we've had. Why is it that for these degenerate things, there's such passion, organization, even the willingness to strike a blow for what's wrong, but for what's right, we chumps.
Yes, that's the image. Yeah, that's. I mean, I haven't found those one pictures haven't come through, but I'm showing them the image of the Sesame Street thing.
No, I'm going to send you something right now. I have no problem. I will send you.
Look at that.
All of them all over again. I'll send you the pictures of the trans. And so you can have it. You can have all you want. And so when I'm not going to hide nothing from you. And I want you to share this with people and say, wow, I don't even want anybody to hurt anybody. Okay.
Right.
I just want people to, hey, you mean you can't take a stand for justice or freedom or voting rights or safe drinking water in Flint? There's nothing. And by the way, you can't cry when your own babies are shot down by the cops, but you'll cry over the Kobe Bryant. I'm very confused by the black man. Well, or if he is a man, you mean the black male.
But doesn't that whole crime bit go back to this reinforcing massa? We still believe in the game. We still believe in we can just come up through the game. You know, it's just reinforcing the system. It's like, you know, we submit to the system because it's like you said. How can you cry over someone who doesn't give 2 rat fucks about you? They don't. Oprah, Cosby. I mean, we'll just go down the list. And we keep on coming back to these same old questions. You know, I get it all the time. How come we can't get the rappers and sports guys to pull their money and make a bank for
do anything? I mean, you know what? How about having a narcotics and an alcohol anonymous chapter? Okay, or a white trailer trash anonymous chapter. Something that's really doable. Okay. Or stop going to strip clubs. Stop being involved in human trafficking. I mean, by the way, have a literacy club for their semi-literate asses. Something that means anything that does. I'm not talking about even standing up to the man. The man. You're supposed to be the damn man.
There it is. The man looks at you every morning. He looks at you in the mirror. When you're brushing your teeth, combing your hair, shaving your shave, if you do all that, you know, if you grow out dreads, and that's the same deal. It's still the same man.
By the way, I have an idea for a movement for the people in ass wars. It'll be very appropriate. You're in Missouri.
Misery.
Hands up, don't screw.
Hands up, don't screw.
Hands up, don't screw. Hands up, don't screw. Hands up, don't screw.
Oh shit.
Or pants up, don't screw. I like that. Pants up, don't screw.
Well, if your hands are up,
Good,
your
but what about
pants
pants
better
up, don't
be up,
screw?
or else you
Pull
will
them up.
get
Pants up, don't screw. There you go. I have it.
pants up, don't screw.
Pants up, don't screw. I like that. I think that's catchy. Agree? Pants up, don't screw.
That is catchy. But the real thing that we need to be catching is the reality that our fundamental problems go deep in our psyche. It goes deep.
It's not so deep. I disagree. These things are hard. We've been dealing with this stuff all along. Parchment Farm ain't new. People used to be ashamed to go there. It was a shame to be on the chain gang. Now, a lot of people unfairly put on that, and there were movies and everything about wanting people to stay out of trouble. Don't get put on the chain gang.
Right.
But you know what? Gay-Z and the others who like having sex with young girls, if not minors, allegedly minors, we have a whole music genre, what I call dick hop. You call it hip hop. And it celebrates going to jail. Don't you realize that's like false advertising to get people into a sodomization turkey shoot? Please.
This is the sickness. This is what we're under. This is the law. We got like the doctor just said, we have rappers who are funded by small hats, and they promote this image killing music that distorts the image of the young people, and then they become to engage in this very behavior, and it's self-fulfilled prophecy. And that is why when so-called decent people bring down the final solution on us, doctor, it's going to be so easy because the road have been paved with the total character assassination of the black man, black woman, and black child.
The road has been paved with excrement and semen and blood.
Oh. This is
I just sent you now. You got the pictures? You got them now?
Hold on, let me go. Let me look. You must have sent him on
pants up, don't screw. Pants up, don't screw. Pants up, don't screw. I like that. I'm gonna do that on Judge's show. Pants up, don't screw.
Oh, you and Judge have been ripping it up. It has not come in through the email yet. Let me refresh it. No.
Let's see. So I don't know what your phone's doing.
Man, hold on,
but it's on my wall in Facebook. It's on my wall in a range of places. I don't think you use WhatsApp, so I sent it out. It's out there. Anybody want to know? So I'm upset. I don't like ass wars. I want them to stop. You know, we have to fight the evil empire, right?
Right.
And drag Vader, right?
Right. Hold on, I'm on your Facebook page now.
Let me see if I can put it up on Facebook. See, I'm afraid to put some stuff up on Facebook because I don't want them to block.
Well, you know what? You don't have to put up. Why don't you? Okay, I can.
No, I just put one of the trans pictures up, and I'll put another picture up. And I'll put the other trans picture up. Okay, it's in my story. And let me go back, send it out again, and put it just on my news feed. Now I put stuff on my wall. Facebook don't like that. They've been just cleaning all of my stuff off, getting rid of it and protecting people when they're wrong. And people have feelings, sure. Right. What about the parents whose kids got murdered? Okay. Now, do you see it on Facebook? If you don't have it, now I can't put this stabbing thing on here because Facebook will pull it off and say it's violent. I can't put it up.
I've seen it on the back. I just can't pull it up.
You can. I can't do that. There are certain people that aren't allowed to educate folks. And this is sort of where I was saying to you, a lot of black folks that are ungrateful dogs don't understand that there may come a time where people can't come and bring the solution to you. You're going to have to go out and look for it aggressively.
Right.
They're already doing that, making it hard for social media people like you to share stuff with them. Make it very hard for people to tell other people what's happening.
Hold on, I'm sending you an email.
And of course, my brother, you got to share with them my phenomenal Cash App. I'm always, my birthday up in February, and I absolutely have stuff to do. You know that I'm promoting a film called From Liberty to Captivity that's dealing with human trafficking. And by the way, it's interesting, Donald Trump, love him or hate him, is criticizing human trafficking and has done more to fight it than any American president. And it's happening disproportionately to black women. And there's complete silence from the black Democratic contingent in Congress.
Damn.
Now, Trump is the racist. Well, what are the black people that are silent about black women being sold as slaves and their organs being harvested and their wombs, their vaginas being ripped out to be put in men?
Yes.
Why isn't this of concern to Karen Bass in Congress and to Peppy the Frog's sister, Maxine Waters, and Sheila, the Texas, the Red River, Texas hippopotamus, Sheila Jackson Lee? Where are these people when black women are disappearing?
Yes, they're
if they push this hard for justice for black women being kept in kennels and pit bull cages, women that are literally pimped so much until they turn over up to $500,000 in cash from being screwed, and when they die, sell their organs off. Why isn't this of interest to the chumps at Essence and Ebony and Jet and BET and TV1 and Rollover Martin and punk Don Finnan and Hoy and I'm a White Toy Greed and all the other buffoons who are silent about what this is happening? No, I don't respect any of them. We should, in fact, despise these people. The day that someone goes in and starts cursing and screaming at some of these black celebrities, and whenever they go, folks are mean to them, some of them will either get out of the business or start doing stuff to save face.
Right.
Now, everybody wants to tell that, what's his name? Kobe Bryant,
right,
who had $2 billion, gave $1 million to the new museum that they have in D.C. Well, that's nice, but him giving $1 million when you had at least $2 billion in assets, that's a good write-off. You're supposed to do that to hold on to your money.
Right.
Now, if you told me he gave $20 million to the Reginald Lewis or something to the what's this guy, Joe Louis Museum in Detroit, if you gave some like 30, 40, 50, now that's some giving. You got when you've got hundreds of millions, that's like me giving $1 to someone I have $500 in my bank account.
Right.
In fact, think about it. him giving $1 million when he had over $2 billion. It's like a person with $2,000 giving 20. And the fact that it's a write-off, it means you get it back.
Right.
He gave himself $1 million.
But see, the thing about it, we don't really, let's face it, doctor, we don't care about people actually giving to us. Like you said, as long as they're making it, we live through them vicariously. We live through their experiences and whatever we see on TV, their life experiences, as if it's ours. We're that far into self-delusion. We're that
You need
far
to lift up your voice. I can't hear you.
We're that far into self-delusion and self-deceit that we believe that just because X, Y, or Z is making it that looks like us, we kind of live vicariously through what we see on TV, how they're enjoying life, how they're going to, vacations.
Let me point the danger out to that. So, Old Country Road is the biggest hit in the country in over 60 years. So, should we vicariously have our young people want to be Little Nas? That's where we're headed.
Yes, that's exactly where we're headed. We are headed this way because it's the plan. See, the problem is because we don't unite, doctor, because we're not on one accord for common cause and purpose, we have no collective plan. So therefore, we're at the mercy of those who do have a plan. And once again, the conclusion of that plan is the automated version of the final solution. That's a very sobering statement. And I hope it.
I want to share with you one thing about the final solution. That, unfortunately, because the final solution isn't such a good example because Zionists had a plan to have some place to get out of Europe. We don't have any place that we're planning to go to. So the final solution worked out for Jews, where they have a nation state, nuclear weapons, and economic and political power. So, and I'll tell you, you say what you want. Jewish people absolutely know how to make stuff work for them.
Oh, definitely take some lessons from their playbook.
Black people don't. So, I would be Hitler, or should I say whoever came up with their final solution at the Wannsee conference, their final solution backfired for Jews. We aren't going to be that lucky. We don't have anything organized. In fact, we don't like stuff that's organized. In fact, that's, a lot of sisters aren't married because they don't like the organization.
Correct.
I want to do what he's saying. Yeah, I want the money, but I don't want to do nothing he's saying. Then we have to go to counseling. No, we've become an undisciplined people addicted to no discipline. And I'm not saying everybody, but there are too many. And by the way, he being often reproved, hard in his heart, stiff in his neck, will be cut off suddenly without a remedy. Proverbs 29. A person that keeps being told and doesn't want to hear gets destroyed, and there's no way out. Like I said to you, for the black folk who won't get it, who won't wake up, won't work together, won't think, won't believe in God, won't at least find some semi-functional belief system with some ethics and morals that they can live by, those people are already dead to us. And the proof to that is all the death you see in places like Baltimore and Chicago.
Wow. man, that's powerful because you're talking about the spiritual war that's manifesting itself physically. And people are not hearing that. People are not understanding that, doctor. People are not really making it. No, that's just because they like to get drunk and they like to fight over girls. That's all that's. No, it's really deeper than that.
Well, I'm looking at the ass wars in prison. Now, when AIDS, I remember back in 1983, when I was a freshman at the University of Virginia, and I had some roommates, a suite mates who were gay dudes who had parties every weekend. And I wrote up on the door of our suite, the AIDS Emporium.
Wow. That's not PC, Doc.
Hold it. 4 weeks, 4 months, AIDS Emporium was on the door of our suite, and people came in until one day, someone screamed out on the 3rd floor, and they all started screaming, Randy! Randy! It was a young white gay gentleman from Hampton Sydney College in Richmond, where the guys who were gay went to get their dates.
Wow.
Had saw the word AIDS Emporium on the door of our suite and began screaming hysterically in fear. And they didn't know what AIDS was. And the guy had to explain to them what AIDS was. Well, that was in 1983. So that's 17 plus 20. 37 years ago, people may have not heard of AIDS. But in the 37 years since, AIDS shouldn't be something that people aren't familiar exist.
Oh, they know it exists. They just don't care, doctor. The reality is most of these people out here are straight up suicidal.
Okay, so if AIDS, if they know it exists, and they think it's curable, and by the way, let's hold up. I need to do some things because we haven't talked in a while. Now, have you ever noticed that a lot of people, when you see LGBTQ protests, a lot of the men have their hair cut bald?
Yep.
Have you ever wondered why?
Well, probably because it's easier to put a wig on and look like a chick when you're bald and shaven.
No.
Then why is it?
Did you know that syphilis causes alopecia?
No,
Did you know that there's strains of venereal disease that cause hair loss?
No, I did not.
And there are STD preventing drugs that cause hair loss. So you'll often see a lot of people who are gay with their hair cut very short. And you would think, why is that? Everyone, because especially white guys, they love having all their hair tossing around like girls, like the Beatles, right?
Right.
Because these people cover up the splotchy and broken and prematurely bald heads as a result of the sex lives. So you see a lot of sisters who are bald. They've been taking those AIDS drugs. It's not the hair relaxer. It's not the Chinese weave that causes an allergy on their scalp.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of people you see. I just want to put that image in people's head. The next time you see someone young and bald,
You should know what's up.
it might be. I don't say it necessarily is, but it can be. It often is. That's one. Number two, did you know that one of the drugs that they joke about, I mean, not drugs, diseases, is herpes?
Yeah, it's out there as well.
Yes. There's more herpes than AIDS. Do you know that herpes can cause meningitis or encephalitis, which are very deadly.
Yep.
Did you know that herpes could cause cancer?
Did not know that one.
Did you know that there are 8 strains of herpes? Actually, 9.
Wow.
They only talk about 1 and 2. You know, we have such a lazy public and we have such a short attention span. If people took a little bit of time to learn about the diseases and things out here, even if they continue to be the horse and tramps and tricks that they want to be, they would really be concerned. No. So I just want to do that. How many strains of hepatitis are there?
Oh, what, 3?
No. And you're an educated person, and you're fairly educated.
Right.
There are 5. There's hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D,
yes,
hepatitis E. The most common mode of infection for D and E have something to do with eating bowel movement.
Oh, doctor.
Although you can get all 5 of them from eating bowel movement or blood or needles.
Wow.
Hepatitis A you've heard about. Hepatitis B you've heard about.
Yes.
Hepatitis C, they don't have a vaccination or a vaccine for yet, and they don't have one for D or E. Now, I would consider D the most interesting one because you can't get it without first having hepatitis B. So you must first have hepatitis B in order to get hepatitis D. And in many instances, you have to be co-infected, meaning a person who has hepatitis B and D must screw you so you can have D.
Wow.
And then you get E. And all of these have varying strains variations of those types.
Man, that's...
So you didn't know that herpes causes cancer, all kinds of cancers.
From throat to anal?
All kinds of cancers. We didn't get into HPV. They claim 50% of the men in this country have it. I don't know if that's true. There's another thing that's very common. There are 4 principal parasites. I'm going to talk about one, which is Giardia. And Giardia has a minimum of 250 million infected people on the planet. You know that's a lowball number. So we could assume it's maybe twice that. 500 million people have a sexual parasite called Giardia that causes infertility and all kinds of problems. Guess what? America leads the world in terms of STDs, meaning that if there are 250 million or 500 million people with Giardia, and Americans make up about 4% of the world's population.
So is that the reason why they're having such low birth rates in the Western worlds? Because the Western world's so damn kinky?
Yeah. Well, no, the diseases destroy fertility. Pelvic inflammatory disease, chlamydia. Right. We have tens of millions of cases in the country. Most people don't know they have them. They figure I got some free booty last week. Man, that was great. Man, my super soaker's better than one in Toys R Us.
Wow.
And what? And they, it can scar up the vesicles and your testicles, or it can scar up a woman's fallopian tubes. And you know what she dies from? She gets tubal pregnancy, an ectopic pregnancy. Her fallopian tubes are so battered by the diseases in there, when the embryo comes through, it attaches to a blood vessel. And if a woman doesn't have good health care, she has an ectopic pregnancy, there's a pregnancy in her fallopian tube, it can kill her.
And definitely the baby.
And there are other things. And it happens frequently. It's one of the leading causes of death in childbirth.
So once again, it goes back to being it goes back to being impoverished, being economically non-viable, with poor, I guess, upbringing. So you're making poor decisions.
There are a lot of people poor and economically not viable that don't have to. You don't have to be a tranny. You don't have to be a glory hole sucking on 100 people. You don't have to screw everybody. You can't tell me poverty means you must do all these degraded things, because most of the people in the world are poor.
Wow. Yes, that's accurate. That is true.
And I'm going to go further. The black people that are poor aren't different from the middle class black people. They have high rates of HIV/AIDS in Atlanta, and the high rates of these things at the HBCUs where our elite go. Let's not pretend that income. I preached a sermon, and I had two names for it. Stop the Love You Save was the nice one, but I'd rather give the harsh one. Big Dick Sink Ships.
Big dicks sink ships.
Big dicks sink ships instead of loose lips sinking.
Right. So, but explain why is this so for the uninitiated?
Well, it's so for the young people. When they were at war with the Germans, the way that the Germans and other people were sinking American ships, sending supplies to Britain, was to get people, spies, prostitutes, people to hang out at the clubs near the docks and find out from people who were on what were called convoys, to find out when war material and things were being shipped out. And if these guys with their loose lips told the enemy, the German submarines would be there to sink.
Yep.
And use torpedoes. Now, our loose sticks, which sex is not used to build unity between man and woman and reproduce children and create families. It's used as either a blunt trauma instrument, if it's used in an anus or in someone's throat, or it's a non-committed sort of thing where, there's a song from Porgy and Bess which goes, when the words is, I've got plenty of nothing and nothing's plenty for me, right?
Right.
I've got plenty of nothing. Well, that's plenty of inches and insufficient income. If black men were more faithful, and I'm not saying that you don't have hoe ass, backstabbing, cheater sisters out there. We do. But if we were about something in our manhood, in our patrimony, in our fatherhood, in our husbandry, and that doesn't mean that you have to marry some asshole sister with the jacked up attitude. I absolutely won't do that. I'd rather you marry an Eskimo than Nicki Minaj or Lizzo. The little bloated HIV before actress. She'll make a great poster person for when she catches something to warn people about the dangers of being, a slut.
Right. That's so sad, but that's so true.
And Nicki Minaj, it's a mirage that she's not a butch and an omnisexual boondoggle who's singing gospel. We may as well have Nas make a gospel album. Can you imagine him? Oh, happy gay, oh, happy gay. Oh, happy gay, oh, happy gay. When Democrats took the family, the man-female family away. Right. Oh, happy gay. Oh, happy. Right. And I could see Nas making Oh, Happy Gay. And people saying it's a way to reach young people. Don't stop them. Our church is full. So by the time of disease, it'll be empty again. Oh, man, the older black people are scum.
It's because
we have to reach the young people. That's always an old predator. You see all these young folk want to poke them, and they call that reaching the young people. Usually have their pants it.
Reaching the young. Well, I don't think the young people need to reach around. I think the young people need to know what's going down. They need to understand
No, they need to know who's going down. And I'm not talking about sexually. They're going down. And they're not just going down to a grave, they're going to go to a hell.
Uh-oh.
And that will be so sad.
Uh-oh. No one wants to hear about that, doctor. Now you're going to, you're past PC. Now we're into Banville because you're going to be hurting people's feelings when you start talking about hell.
People are dope sick, so the little projectiles they put in their rear end and their orifices don't hurt their feelings.
Wow.
So I don't really care. I don't like the idea that if I go to the store, I have to clean the bar of the bass cart because of some freak who does all this degenerate stuff. That's touching that stuff. If I accidentally put my hand in a bass cart and I scratch my eye, they got to cut it out because someone got chimpanzee cum virus on their hand.
Yeah, think about that next time you grab that little basket at your little Ralph's, at your little Walmart, at your little Costco, and some nasty food that had his hands all in his pants, touching his little warts and bibbly bops, and he smears that juice. He smears that juice on door handles, water fountains.
And there's a super bug. It's called C. auris. I forget that, but let me dig it up for you. I don't necessarily. By the way, someone I know that I warned about this fungus told me that they had it.
Oh my gosh!
And they were sick, and they went to the doctor. Here it is. It's Candida auris. It's a species of fungus that grows as a yeast.
Wow.
Now, let me tell you something. I'm going to read some of this to you. Candida auris is a species of fungus that grows as a yeast. It's one of the few species of the genus of Candida which can cause candidiasis in humans. Often, candidiasis is acquired in hospitals by patients with weakened immune systems.
Wow.
C. auris can cause invasive candidiasis. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
In which the bloodstream, the central nervous system, and internal organs are infected. It has attracted widespread attention because of its multiple drug resistance.
There it is.
Now they have a strain that they have no way to stop. It is 60% deadly if you get it.
Well, there we go. Doctor, you started off saying it's all about depopulation. We got to get rid of these people.
But the point is, no, but depopulation won't work if we're not having ass wars. If we're not pretending that the most deadly place to put your mouth or your penis is a rectum.
Yeah, it's so basic. Come on, y'all. This is basic, but it's real. Because there is an epidemic of nastiness going on because there is no righteousness. There's no self-respect. There's no self-repair going on. This is the conversation we have to have, doctor. Because people are going down the road to oblivion.
They're going down the old country road.
Wow.
And they're getting throat cancer. You know, if you follow me on Facebook, every so many days there's a celebrity that dies from cancer. They're young. And they always just died from cancer without explaining to people. that the many things that can happen. If you get AIDS, you can have cancer. You can get cancer from all the venereal diseases. Many of them cause cancer. The parasites, there's a link somehow between cancers because the parasites, I told you, the Candida giardia, this parasite. These parasites come with viruses, meaning that you can get a parasite, get treated for the parasite, and the parasite inside of it had a virus that will cause you cancer. Now, let me give you a heartbreaker. You know that song that the Bee Gees wrote for Jan Warwick? Why do you have to be a heartbreaker? Right? When I was doing what you want me to do, but gotta get under the spell that I'm under. Right. My love for you. Right?
Right.
All right. Give you a heartbreaker story. I think you lost a brother and your father recently, yes?
I lost, yeah. Yes, I have.
Okay. No. Look, one of my very best, dearest friends, 35 years ago, I gave him some advice. Please don't kiss on those nasty holes here at Howard University. Get yourself a nice Christian girl. They may even let you have some premarital sex, but you're not supposed to have. But if you get one of these fast trips, they kiss you, you'll have something like luggage for life. I'm not messing with these traps. Well, my friend, he's stupid. He's still a virgin. He's about to finish college. What does he know? Well, my dear friend, got mononucleosis, which is in the herpes family. Mononucleosis. And he had to be kept in quarantine. And he was able to beat the mono. But the virus somehow got into his bones. And he had never a problem with mono ever again. Guess what? Guess what? His brother, a pillar of the community, got sick and needed bone transfer. Morrow. Loved his brother, close to his brother, gave him bone marrow. The virus from the mono that he had in the egg killed his brother within the last 2.5 months.
Wow. That's utterly sad. That's utterly sad.
I know that this man loved, he would never have done, never love his brother. This man was not a tramp, not out sleeping with everybody, right? But you understand this, and there are a lot of people out here with these superbugs and cancers and things. A lot of people are going to need transplants and so forth. And I just want to say some other things to the degenerate public. When you get tattoos, you can't be a blood donor. You've got all of these niggas with tattoos. So if they were to start shooting and killing us and folks needed blood, and trust me, they're not going to give their good white blood to us. It's not going to happen. And I'm not even mad at them. Why should they?
Wow.
All of these Negroes with tattoos are not going to be able to give blood to anyone. That's just one thing to say to you. A lot of people are getting hepatitis from the tattoos, and they may be getting infected on purpose, but you know, our people. Man, those people with the swamp stickers on, man, that's the best tattoo artist.
Oh, my God.
Gotta be some dumbass black people. Oh, God.
That's the best tattoo.
I'm so glad
artist.
I'm not teaching. When you teach, you are imposed on. You get all these dumbass people who don't want to be smart. It's the most annoying part. It's like being a cop with no gun. Oh.
But see, right there, doctor, it's so important why we need reparations so we can start our own businesses that were utterly
well, we're not
destroyed.
going to get reparations if we're willing to die for ass and not die for principle. Now, as I was saying, so when you get a tattoo, you can't give blood. When you get these little BBs and superbugs and then all this nasty, filthy stuff that people do, like getting salad tossed and licking buttholes and swallowing semen and all this other kind of stuff, you're going to have those viruses and germs in your body. If you give a liver or something or whatever, not a liver, but a kidney, you'll kill your mom or your dad because of your filthy life. And it's another way to kill people. And nobody's telling. And forgive me, I just have to keep calling. That's not everybody, but the stupid ass, immoral, iniquitous black folk out there. There's not a lot of love. And so there's all this disease, all this stuff out here. And oh, by the way, I haven't taught you in all these months. You know, just a few months ago, no more than 3 months ago, of all sources, CNN, Don Lemon must have not been able to stop them, put out a report. You know, the fastest rising cancer in the country is ass cancer, rectal cancer. You know who's most likely to die if they get the treatable rectal cancer? Would you like to guess?
Black men?
Yes, stupid ass black men are more likely to die early and faster, even with the treatable cancer. Do you know who's contracting rectal cancer, so they say, most rapidly of all demographics in the country?
Gay black men?
Stupid ass, confused, perverted black men. Exactly. Ding, 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 man. You would be Powerball in my STD challenge lottery anyway.
This is
happening.
tragic.
And by the way, you're not going to hear about this because you have the largest black church in the country, which is the Church of God in Christ, is dominated by deviants.
No, doctor. You know, they
Sure
wouldn't use Jesus to get money.
You know, the reason they like Jesus is he's got long hair and he looks like he'd give them some.
Wow. Wow. Hopefully you guys are hearing and understanding what is being shared with you. It's about being righteous. There's only one way. And unfortunately, it seems like we're not on it. We choose to go our separate.
We are on it. We're on the wrong hole and we like being there. We need to get off of the wrong hole and get back to the right hole.
The hole of life.
Yeah, and the only glory hole that exists is on a woman. It's not on a man.
Right.
And by the way, stop screwing women in the booty.
Exactly.
They die from rectal prolapses. That's still a lot of black men too. Oh, and I told you a long time ago about the septicemia.
Yep. And that article came out and I shared it with everybody. No, but this is what this is what we're talking about. If you're not going to be righteous, all right, you're not going to do the right thing. Look, here's a tip. If you're ignorant as fuck, you screw the hole the same side as the tits. You don't mess with the hole in the back. You know, that's the hole of death and defecation. The hole in the front is the hole of life. The hole of, well, I guess the triple darkness, where life is sprung from.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now, you know something. I want you to hear something. And we're not trying to scare nobody because a person will die for rectum and they're not afraid of ass cancer. There's nothing you can tell them. But having said that, I want to tell people, a lot of folks assume, and this is quite stupid for black people. I have to keep calling black folks stupid. If y'all weren't stupid, I wouldn't call you that. If the economy in this country goes into a free fall and it collapses, which it could, a lot of people are assuming if I get infected, there'll be a free service or some screening or something. And you know and I know there's a little company called Gilead. they just raised the price on their drugs. And let me digress for a second. Remember we talked about the gay birth control pill?
Yeah.
Remember I was talking about that, Truvada, and I was making fun of it?
Right.
Saying, okay, now, you know, we haven't been talking that much. You can go and look. They found that Truvada causes bones to break, for people to lose teeth, for the liver to be damaged, for people to have mental problems, and for their bones to be damaged. And those drugs haven't been out that long, brother. This is just in a handful of years. The gay birth control pill. They're already giving people money. All you have to do is sign up. For everybody out there that took the gay birth control pill, the pill, Prep P, Prep H, they told you that you were 80% unlikely to get, 90% unlikely to get HIV. They didn't tell you that those preps only prevent you from getting HIV, not the 40, 50, 60. First of all, there are 8 strains of herpes, at least, actually 9. There are 5 strains of hepatitis. There's several strains of chlamydia. There's several strains of gonorrhea, many of them resistant. There's syphilis. There's LGV. There's Giardia, and there are 3 other major parasites. There are about 60. There's Trick. There are about 50 STDs that you could get aside from HIV/AIDS, and many of them cause cancer and death too. And I think I left out. I didn't mention chlamydia, and so there are lots of things that can make you up, right? There's lots. So you can take the gay birth control pill and still catch everything else. Ever since Truvada came out, the STD rates in the country have gone up literally straight like a rocket shooting into the sky, because people felt they could do what they wanted, and they raced back out the whore as much as they could. And there's certain places that are deliberately hiding information from the public. Let me give you an example. The state of California hides information about venereal disease because it's offensive to the LGBTQ power contingent. The CDC hides information on STDs. And by the way, there's a 4th strain of HIV/AIDS. So I don't know if the Truvada blocks the latest HIV-4. I don't know if it can stop that. Just to put that out there, brother, imagine. So anyway, and it doesn't prevent septicemia and other stuff that can happen. And it doesn't fight the Candida auris, okay? So, are you hearing me?
Yes.
I had a doctor tell me, basically, if you're having sex in America, if you have sex 5 times, you're highly likely to contract an STD if you do it with more than 4 different people. Like you're 22.5% chance of getting something. 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 times you're going to get something. That's what this expert was telling me, Dr. Carey. And why am I saying this now? Truvada, the gay birth control pill, right?
Right.
I asked him, because they used to say it was 96% protection, and he laughed. I said, well, you know, they dropped it to 90, and I thought maybe it's just 80. And he laughed still, meaning that those things aren't necessarily protected at all. And then they sold the public a fraud that they won't catch anything taking these gay birth control pills. Now, where am I going? The Truvada people deliberately marketed a drug that they knew could kill. So I call it pharmaceutical homophobia. I think it's wrong to kill people because of their sexuality with the drugs. Even if I disagree with people being out there, I love the people who had that challenge in their life. I would never want something bad to happen that where it was systematically done to hurt people. I'll always be a fair human being.
Right.
But they knew that Truvada would mess people up. They had a safer drug. And guess what?
What happened?
They didn't put it out. They gave the bad drugs that would fuck up people and kept that on the market.
That sounds like a
plan. Now they're paying out. And guess what? Then they brought out Gilead, which still has problems. And there's Atravir and their other ones. They're all bad. But people think that they're getting away. So, hey, screw God, screw morality. It's my body. It's my orifices. I say, I give the passport and the visa to who penetrates me. And I don't want anyone right. Okay, fine. Anyway, my friend, the Truvada people bought the Gilead company. And so now Gilead has the gay birth control pill that they're telling everybody. And you know what they did like 2 months ago?
What's that?
They went and they hiked the price of their product. Now, my friend, there's a little nasty little brother of the Ashkenazi community that was selling a drug that people needed. And he made the price of the drug go up like, what, 600%, where people couldn't afford the EPIN because he wanted to screw up, make it so people couldn't afford it.
Well, maybe he was trying to protect them. He was so concerned.
No, he wasn't trying to protect. He was greedy, and he got put in jail for gouging. And what I'm saying to you is the Gilead people have already raised the price of the drug. And what I'm saying to you is if the medical system were to be overwhelmed by an economic downturn, then it would be the companies would profiteer, which means that the Gilead drug, they may go up 100%. And if you need it to live, you have to pay whatever it takes to get that drug. Are you feeling me?
Wow.
Now you see that they'll have people over the barrel who they told to go out and be sluts, hoes, tricks, and whatever. And then they've got to figure out how they're going to get the drug. And if they have these laws against not geriatrics, but there's another word for the medication, generic drugs, so you can get them at a decent price. If they say no to generics, then you have to pay the brand name for it, which is high. So they'll let the people die who got these infections, or they'll learn to live with being infected with all this stuff inside of them.
Oh.
And now I need to say this to you as well, to remind all the little smart ass people who think they beat all this stuff. The little dirty secret that the doctor told me is that the people that take the antiretroviral drugs develop cancers, Alzheimer's, dementia, joint problems, arthritis, heart problems, diabetes, and all kinds of odd cancers as well. They have problems with suicidality and other mental problems and advanced aging. If you do get a drug, the VDs that are out here, so that means when you take the antiretrovirals, the cells in your body that are responding to the medicine that has toxic qualities do a reverse transcriptase process where the body begins to manufacture cancers in reaction to the other cancer or diseases that your drugs are fighting. Are you hearing me? Which then means, my friend, that a large number of people commit suicide. They're dying younger. They're aging rapidly. Yes, they were able to have sex with 1,000 different warm bodies, or 2,000 or 3,000, but ultimately it caught up with them.
Every time.
And so you'll start seeing people, because this Truvada has been around, it's been on the market 5 years. You and I have been talking about, what, a year?
Yeah.
And I've been talking to Ron Hurd for 5 years about the gay birth control pill, warning people that there would be side effects that they're lying to people about. Folks will get sick. And what you need to know is that the Gilead drug that they're pushing, it has side effects too. but they're not as bad as Truvada, but it's new, meaning that large numbers of people take it and you take large amounts of it, it's going to have an effect on people. And remember, under George Bush, the little crazy one, the 9/11 one, they changed the standards for approving FDA drugs as to race the drugs out on the market. And these companies will lie, like they did with Truvada, about the negative side effects and other things for a drug in order to get FDA approval. God knows what the Gilead people aren't telling you about their drug that's supposed to replace Truvada.
Wow.
Now, let the medical establishment collapse. Do you really think that they're going to want a bunch of diseased Black folks who have these STDs in their hospitals and clinics when they can't pay?
No.
The answer is hell no. So let's move on to the book, The Outsider, by Richard Wright, one of my favorite writers. In The Outsiders, written by, of course, wonderful Richard Wright, there's a woman who's good looking, who he meets, and the father wants his daughter married, but the daughter has syphilis.
Oh.
And Black people, by the way, syphilis is one of the leading killers of Black men on the chain gangs. So you know that's the sound of a man working on a chain gang. It could be instead of ooh as they did for the Hugo and Luigi and Sam Cooke smash, the chain gang. And so it was very common for Black people to have syphilis and other diseases and simply die and go insane. And that takes me back to my childhood. My mother was assigned to work with Black men dying from syphilis in the syphilitic ward in St. Elizabeth's Hospital. And so when I turn 55 next month, I can assure you that I can recall 51 years ago seeing Black men dying and in agony from syphilis.
Wow.
And you wonder, what progress have we made? In fact, we've gone backwards. And we have gone backwards. They had a documentary, Pimps Up, Hoes Down. And we need one, Rectums Up, Vaginas Down, to describe the insanity in our community.
Did you not see it coming though, Doctor? In the 90s, when you had all those, music. I have love for my homies, bros before hoes.
No, there's nothing wrong with love for the homies. I don't have hatred for you. I'm not mad you have a penis. I'm just glad you're not trying to poke me with it.
Well, there it is.
I don't hate. No, we need real brotherly love, not sodomizing, not iniquitous. Man, that's a great nutsack, man. You got nuts like a goat. Man, you got a nice ass. I know you're a man. We don't need that.
No, we do not.
We don't have enough brothers or real concern. No, we need that. We need people to be able to care enough about a man, even if you're in prison, that you couldn't think of wanting to impale your brother, your bunkmate in the booty. I mean, that's why you do good behavior in jail, so you can get out and get some conjugal visits or whatever, versus saying, well, I'm going to just stay here. Well, I'm going to just have to make it the best way I can. In the words of 50 Cent, if I don't get my booty, I'm going to rob and steal. I mean, please. And back to Mississippi. 9 people dead, but it's not just Mississippi. So when you see violence and jails all over America, it's not always just Mr. Bobo. That could be Mr. I'm a hoe, or at least I'm trying to be a hoe. Fighting with other gangsters over who is the sissy of the week in terms of the Green Mile, or should I say the Penis Mile, on Cell Block Queer. Okay, it's just time for this, for us to be honest. One, we don't need men mass incarcerated in the first place.
Right.
We need to speak up and say no to it. The black men that have been raped or abused, that witnessed this, need to start denouncing this. We need to start having sisters. I'm telling you, they need to do an asshole check. They don't go with the dude that's been in lockup until you've checked out the status of his asshole. If that thing looks like, Tokyo and shit after World War II, don't mess with them. This dude, you need to have him screened for every kind of virus and thing they do. I'm sorry you in lockup, but you stuck one too many dicks or whatever happened in there. I get it. I feel for you, but I don't need germs in my body killing me.
There it
And
is.
if the dudes really start getting serious and understanding that people want to check your asshole out, I need to see it. Take it to a proctologist. Send me a picture of your asshole. Like that song, Tie Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree. That's about a nigga that was in jail. Okay. And so if you've been good, show your asshole to your woman. If it doesn't look like somebody like put, a fire poker up there where the shit's caved in or it's hanging out. And we need to help all the people that have been victimized, that have been molested.
Yes.
I'm not down on a person having a problem. I want to see them get help, but we got to get off the pride. It says pride comes before the fall. Our race is fallen because a lot of black men who've been hurt, taken, abused are phony. They won't talk about this. Well, I'm strong. Nobody took me in prison. Dude's about 4'11". Man, I had a gang in there to protect me. Right. Right.
Yeah.
We need to be honest that if you go to prison, it's a sodomy factory, or it's a turkey shoot to push you into something that compromises your manhood. And we should boycott all recording artists or anyone that celebrates. The only thing that should be celebrated is how we get our brothers and sisters out,
right?
How we get help for people, how we repair people. That's the only thing worth celebrating or singing about. Everything else is dangerous, debased, vulgar, satanic Luciferian. Is something we should be ashamed of and destroyed, extirpated from the lives of our people.
Right.
That's what that has to be. Now, brother, we've been at this an hour, and
yes.
I love you to death. Go ahead and put this out. And by the way, if people like my research, my Cash App is Dr. Randy Short. Send me some bucks. We're doing great things. I want to let people know I don't just talk. I'm working to organize people in several states. North Carolina, Virginia, of course, my Washington, D.C., Delaware, Maryland, and Pennsylvania, and Ohio, to fight against human trafficking, the sexual enslavement, the pimping of our women, our girls, our boys, our vulnerable men. I'm one of the creators of Salvation and Liberation Temple. It is a LLC. I am the co-chair for the Good Ground, Good Life, Inc. It is a charity that's 15 years old that works with Black folk from the hood. And I'm working also with the project, it's not Gilead, but it's Project Nehemiah. I will be working with them, I hope, to work with returning citizens. Oh, yes. And of course, I'm working with Reba Hawkins. She's the sister running for Congress for the 7th Congressional District of Maryland. As well, I'm extending support and technical assistance to Brother Michael Jensen running for Mayor of Baltimore. I'm trying to help someone run for Congress in Detroit and working as I can with the sister in Pittsburgh. We're doing things with very little resources, and we're making success. Also, in addition to that, we're going to take a stand against euthanasia. They want to kill old Black people in the D.C. area. I look forward when I get back to Baltimore, along with fighting against this human trafficking, to link up the whole eugenics thing that's being unrolled on our people. The film that I want people to, they're interested in seeing it, It's a film. It doesn't have enough black people in it, but it's worth it. It's called From Liberty to Captivity. If folks want to chat with me, I'm at wrandyshort@gmail.com. You can tweet me at DRS1 and Twitter, DRS1. You can reach me through my YouTube channel. I think I'm Randy Short. I'm Randy Short 1965 in Instagram. I'm Dr. W. Randy Short in LinkedIn. I'm Randy L. Short in Facebook. I'm Randy Short in Facebook. I'm Randy Lancaster Short in Facebook. Wow. And for serious people with real projects, I communicate via WhatsApp, depending on who it is. If it's not a foolish, we can chat. And I'm thinking that about covers the social media. I do have a web page. We're going to put it out soon. It's called Fighting Black. I want to let you know, Brother Patrick, that someone messed with my mail. My book, my galley of my book was delivered to my home, and it was sent back and refused. My publisher lost a family member and just came out of rehab. So I should have at some point in this year a book in hand, and I'll be able to run with it. And of course, I also want to bring to your attention, Brother Patrick, I need you to meet my friend Jeremy Karamazov, who has a book on Obama's wars. Obama, the greatest war president. It talks about how he's been killing people, in particular blacks, worldwide.
We have to have him on the show.
When I sit down and talk to him, I'll be working with him. So, and you know, I'm now collaborating with you, Brother Lance Scurv, Brother Dry Bones, Judge Joe Brown, when I can, the wonderful Ron Hurd, and I just have a new person that wants me on Bounce Television in Ohio. So
This
it's
is going to be
coming
your year,
slowly.
Doctor. This is going to be your year.
It's coming slowly. I will probably be doing a show in Ohio with Sister Felicia Chappelle, David Chappelle's oldest sister. Don't know David, but I do know Felicia and his mom. I've met David. I don't know him too well.
Right.
And hopefully things come along. And so this is going to be a very powerful year. Trust me. This race in Baltimore, Reba Hawkins, by the way, I think I sent you. No, I didn't. Reba Hawkins just got endorsed for her pro-life stand by the National Council of Right to Life, which is great. She may win. We may pull an upset and have a true pro-reparations woman as a candidate for Congress in Maryland. That's incredible.
That's what it's
And we've
about.
done this with almost no cash, very little. And that's not the way that you win. So if folks like or want to help out, and I will continue to do things, send me a piece. It doesn't have to be much, believe it or not. I want to thank you, brother, because the people that sent me the small donations
Right.
allowed me to be able to work from August all the way up to now, more or less, almost pro bono. And that's, so it wasn't a whole lot, but people every now and then would drop me something. So I know folks, I love Brother Tariq Nasheed. Those dudes be raising thousands.
Right.
Some of us need that, but we need hundreds. So anybody that wants to send me, and there's several ways to do this. If people want tax deductions, they can contact me about Good Ground, Good Life, Inc. It's on Facebook, and you should be able to find them online. Or you can always write me at W. Randy Short, and I can put you in touch. You can get a tax deduction to support what we're doing. In fact, I have a shirt on. It's a 1987 Redskins Super Bowl champion shirt. Within the next couple of days, we're anticipating a check from the Redskins because we are launching a project to wash clothes and provide some programs for homeless and at-risk youth. Okay, can you believe we're getting all this done, my brother? And we don't have a whole lot to work with.
Just think if
We've been waiting for these resources since July. So we've had to wait, but that's okay. So these are the kinds of things we do. So if you want to get a tax deduction, Good Ground, Good Life is the way to do it. If you just want to send this brother some subsistence thing, believe it or not, and I help other people. I mean, then they can Dr. Randy Short at Cash App or through PayPal. This is WRandyShort at Gmail. You can PayPal me. And believe it or not, it's not like it. You know, I have like a lot of followers, brother, lots.
Yes, you do.
If all of my followers sent me $2 in a year, if they sent me 5 or 10 or 20, we'd be established because I have a very nice following. It's nice. And it's about, I'd say, I'd say there are about 15,000 people or more. Maybe it's 20. They don't all line up in one specific place.
Right.
But they're listening, they're hearing what we're saying, they like what we do. We simply need them to do something like drop. And I have a Patreon account. I think it's Dr. Randy Short. So I've got so you can Patreon me, you can WhatsApp me. I'm sorry. You can Cash App me, you can PayPal me, or you can email me and I can tell you how you can help. My brother, Delon, we did a program. In fact, remember I was telling you about lead? Remember months ago I was telling you lead's going to be a major crisis? Remember?
Right. The lead and flint.
Now you see lead is everywhere. Everywhere. We help push this issue on lead. We won't get credit for it. And it's not even about that, but having the means to do the stuff necessary.
Right.
We are hoping to do more about lead as well as opioids in Baltimore and DC. And don't be surprised if, and you'll be happy. I had one racist forced out of a congressional race. I can't say who, but I dogged their ass. We need to pay. We need an army. We need people that do intelligence work. And the same way we buy jerseys for Kobe, who can't even show up when you need them, folks like us need support too. You need it, brother. I mean, we should absolutely have a better network that helps those that want to do the right thing.
Right.
And so I'm hoping that you put all that out there. If you want, I'll send that to you. But I need people to, in particular, I'm going to try to step up my YouTube channel. And plus, we're going to be doing some stuff together, right?
Right.
It's going to be in televised. I'm going to start. We can do it through what's that thing, Scope or whatever.
Or Skype
a lot of things
Facebook.
We can start doing. We need to do it, and the sooner the better. This is going to be an exciting election year.
Yes.
I want to remind everybody, if I haven't said this to you, this is 2020. 20 plus 20 equals 40. You can go through the Jewish tradition, the Afro-Asiatic tradition. 40 is a very important number. It's judgment, it's the wilderness, it's temptation, it's exploration, it's new. It means a change. So you see earthquakes, you see volcanoes going off,
Right.
you see upheaval, you see all kinds of stuff. You see impeachment, you see all kinds of stuff. You see John Lewis is behind with pancreatic cancer. And I mean, stuff's changing
Quickly.
And so back us up, back to the people who are telling the truth. Back us up. We're about to make history this year. Yes, the Democrats and all these people are paranoid. They're afraid. They're messing with us, but we're messing with them. Remember I told you Kamala Harris's ass was going to be knocked down.
And she was.
Remember I talked about gaydar?
And it came out.
And so, well, where are they now? I mean, they're out there still, and I'm not mad. You remember I was never against the reparations or anything that was about people. So I'm not mad at the good people in ADOS. I'm not mad at the good people in foundational Black Americans. I am mad at anybody that's not serious about lifting us up. No hustlers, I don't care. Male, female, she-male, okay? I mean, and and one that looks like they're off House Party. They look like a cross between Beavis and Butthead and House Party. Now, now she tried to shut down the sister in Baltimore. Let me tell you what they're doing, just so I can put this on True Power this month. Do you know that that the people in ADOS, not the masses, but the one that Tariq Nasheed can't stand. Do you know that they told the people not to support us because we're not a pro LGBTQ campaign?
Right. See, that's what we don't have a black caucus. We got a gay caucus that happens to be populated with black people.
We have a slack caucus with gays in it. Okay, we have a congressional black or slack circus. We don't have one. And I'm just telling you, my brother, this Coon Busters, I'm still doing Coon Busters. Facebook, I've had to be so careful because they attack me on all of the platforms. I don't know. I must be famous.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, I have a good jokes. Hey, what's John Lewis's favorite Motown song?
What's that?
Cruising.
Cruising.
Anyway. Other people know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
I called a friend of mine up and said, "This is John Lewis. Can you tell me a bedtime prison story?"
Will you stop? Oh no.
Anyway, I don't care if you don't get the joke. Someone out there will.
No, I got the joke. That was a bedtime prison story. I mean, John Lewis is sick, and I'm sure he has family members that love him and the whole bit,
Well, our race is sick, and he's been not treating us. He's been taking us in the wrong direction. Now, his stuff ain't good. Dude, you need to step down. That's the problem when people want to die in the chair. Except for the electric chair, you need to get the hell out of it.
And put someone in there that will actually fight for reparations. Every so-called Black Caucus member should be, we want reparations for our people, economic viability today. Because once people are economically viable,
for gay people, he got them. And they probably gonna spend that money on plastic surgery on their butthole. Okay.
Reconstructive surgery.
Well, that's what they call reconstruction. In fact, pretty soon reconstruction is going to all be about anal incontinence. It's not going to be about black people. And you know what? Black coon Democrats will have facilitated history being changed to exclude us once again.
Wow.
We have to just keep attacking them and attacking them and attacking them and attacking them until their stuff falls down. Okay?
Wow.
I'm telling you, we need something like Jericho to come, make the walls of Kundum fall down. And then some of the bricks hit some of these no good elected coon officials and crooked preachers and macho broads. They look more masculine than Mr. T.
You're right.
Some of them in the music business is disgusting. We want our black women back. We're going to take our black women's femininity back from the studs. We won't ever surrender. Down with feminism.
And
up with femininity.
Correct.
All right. Let me get up out of here, man.
All right, brother.
So send me a link on that. And did you get the picture of the dude shanked all up?
I tried to pull it up on the phone, but it was just, I've been having all kinds of difficulties over here. People are saying the video's buffering. It's been a little choppy, and any movements I make on the computer makes it even worse. So I've been kind of leaving it alone. And I let that picture fly that I sent you on Facebook, the picture for Ass Wars. And I'm probably going to change this video title, DRS1 Prelude to Ass War.
Yes, we're going to do another Ass War show. I'm going to see if I can get Paul. Okay?
All right.
Peace, my brother.
Peace, bro.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Now that was unexpected, yeah. And for the troopers who held in there to the bitter end, which is now, I say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been one of those shows that it was unplanned, unscripted, but the information in it, I challenge you. If any of the information you've heard in almost the past 2 hours is incorrect, please, in the description below, correct me. Correct Dr. Short. Correct the Honorable Minister. And I guarantee you won't. I stand on this show and I stand on the information that is presented in the contents in which it is presented. So that being said, this will conclude TPIM SR Live. Today's date, January 31st, 2020, the year of our Lord. Tomorrow begins our History Month. Let's do something. Let's make history. Thank you. I'm out. Liberation. I am so tired, y'all. Y'all don't even know. But live your life of integrity without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, brothers and sisters, please, 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 let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace in our power, unity in our victory, and dignity in our respect. Liberation. Now I am out.